Pillows goes on to comment here from Bonson's opening statement. He says, in advance, Dr. Stein is committed to disallowing any theistic interpretation of nature, history, or experience due to his naturalism. This is something we talked about with our scientism in our previous book with J.P. Moreland, of if you definition away, and then if you keep out any alternate explanations or worldviews.
No intelligence allowed.
Exactly. Then you're going to look around and go, we're all homogenous here. It seems like we all don't have a belief in the supernatural, therefore the supernatural doesn't exist. Meanwhile, the theists are pounding at the door trying to get back into the buildings that they once created. So that seems to be an issue here. Pills goes on to say that what he seems to overlook, that is Stein, is that this is just as much begging the question on his own part as it is on part of the theist who appeals to such evidence. He is not at all proven by empirical observation and logic his pre-commitment to naturalism. He has assumed it in advance, accepting and rejecting all further factual claims in terms of that controlling an unproven assumption. So you watch the resurrection happen 100%. You say, yep, that was Jesus before he died, he rose again. But, that's just, you can't use that as a proof for the supernatural because you have to prove God exists. And then you can say, God did the resurrection, but this just seems to be a weird happenstance, a weird coincidence, and I'm not obligated to interact with your supernatural claims here, even though I'll see the entire events of the resurrection.
So one of the things that Pillows is drawing from is not just the debate content, but also after the debate, there was a series of letters back and forth between Bonson and Stein, and so Pillows is also drawing from some of that material. For instance, with regard to this, he says this, let me just read this, is on page 27. This is apparently a letter that Bonson got from Stein. He says, to allege, this is Bonson speaking, to allege, as does your August 10th letter, that it is impossible to have satisfactory documentation for a miraculous event is an attempt to win an argument in a completely a priori fashion, superstitiously ruling out from the outset anything that you don't want to find. Right. So he nails him on his assumption with regard to naturalism there, which is the point that I think Pillows is making here.